The Last Supper, The Big C, 1985. The boldest of the hand-painted canvases based on Leonardo's Last Supper is the 30-foot-long canvas titled The Last Supper, The Big C, with 4 images of Christ and the group, at the left of Thomas, James, and Philip, painted in various sizes, with the startling addition of 3 motorcycles, as well as logos and a price tag. The primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, highlight the logos and the largest motorcycle. In this vast Last Supper painting, the reference to the fearful scourge of cancer, the Big C, is surrounded by small, big, and bigger images of Christ. The Christ is another Big C. The Last Supper, Dove, 1986. Our attention is riveted by the obscuring and alien commercial logos that jump forth at the viewer. The corner of the price tag for 59 cents, the Dove soap logo, and also the General Electric logo. The wit and humor of juxtaposing the sacred and the secular engage and startle the viewer. Dove in word and image is familiar from Dove soap packages, and GE from packaged light bulbs, electricity and soap, thus power and cleanliness. Some will remember the old adage, cleanliness is next to godliness. Significantly, the dove levitates above the head of Jesus. Andy would have known the accounts of the baptism of Jesus by John the Baptist, when the heaven was opened, and the Holy Spirit descending upon Jesus in bodily form like a dove. As for GE, we bring good things to light, can be seen as a metaphor for creation, when God separated light and darkness and found His creation to be good. God brings good things to light. GE as a symbol for the Creator, the dove for the Holy Spirit, and Jesus here delineated at the Last Supper, the 3 make up the Holy Trinity. The price tag? Does it mean everything can be purchased? Or perhaps the meaning that not everything can be purchased? Or again, the 59 cents, which even in 1986 would not have bought much, may refer to a devalued currency and devalued religious images, which are here juxtaposed. This arresting painting suggests multiple meanings. 10 punching bags, with Christ from Last Supper. The strangest of all these Christ images are the 10 white boxers' punching bags, which have the Christ image drawn on them by Warhol, with additional designs and phrases painted by Jean-Michel Basquiat. Christ 112 Times, 1986. In this vast panorama of repeated images, the face, features, and shoulders of Christ at first lose their identity and dissolve into an abstract pattern. But gradually the faces recover their identity, then are lost again in the wave-like motion of the seemingly overlapping contours. The repetition is incantory and may, for the attuned viewer, act as a visual chant. Warhol had a special sense for shape and size. Here he pushes dimensions to the limits, suggesting indeed that the images could be repeated beyond space and time infinitely. The Last Supper, Pink, 1986. When one first sees the pink Last Supper, there is a moment of shock at viewing 2 replicas of Leonardo's original mural set side by side. The ambient pinkness of the scene is also startling. But it is surprising how quickly seeing and feeling are accustomed to this doubleness and this pinkness. The Last Supper, Red, 1986. At first viewing, this glowing red painting is startling, with its upside-down panels adjacent to right-side-up panels. The effect should be disorienting, or at the very least, disquieting. The strong vertical of the glowing red tablecloth with the velvet black shadows below the cloth knit the composition together. Looking from left to right, this black and red horizontal is at the upper border and continues to alternate top and bottom as the eye moves from left to right. The rhythm of these alternations is slow-moving and lyrical. Detail from the Last Supper, red. The Camouflage Last Supper, 1986. The camouflage pattern spills over the vertical edges, functioning as a kind of frame on either side. The camouflage pattern covers and partially veils the features of Jesus' face, as well as the faces of the two groups of apostles to the left and right of him. In the groups at either end of the table, the picture puzzle pattern of camouflage has odd-shaped, light-toned areas that seem to highlight the eyes of Simon and Jude at the extreme right in both scenes. The Apostle Jude, who is second from the right, looks anxiously and searchingly towards us. The three apostles at our left, Bartholomew, James the Greater, and Andrew, seem to peer at the Christ with intensified emotion. Detail from the Camouflage Last Supper. Last Self-Portrait, Camouflage, 1986. He used the camouflage pattern for this late self-portrait, in which a very large image of a cadaverous, white-wigged, tragic-looking Warhol peers toward the viewer with an unfocused, far-seeing gaze. The Last Supper, Christ, 1986. This Christ image, silk-screened over pieces of colored paper that have been adhered to a heavy sheet of background paper, is lyrical and reverential. Isolated from the actions of the apostles, and with the setting of the room minimized, the focus on the Christ is intensified. We become aware of the inward and remote expression of his face, and how it contrasts with the self-offering gestures of his hands. 60 Last Suppers, 1986. The viewer is impelled into a physical relationship with it, for the